Hi, my name's Tim Gillingham. We're here at the 2016 ATA show at the Gold Tip booth. We're in front of the torture test here. And we'd like to show you a couple little things about Gold Tip arrows that kind of showcase their durability and why they're, all arrows are not created equal. So what we have here is we have a bend tester, a break tester that kind of will break our arrows. But first I want to show you what I feel like is probably the most important attribute of a carbon arrow. And a lot of you may have heard people talk about being able to shoot the spine out of a carbon arrow. I don't necessarily think that's what's happening. What I'm going to show you right now is what I do think is happening, and that is the fact that you're actually shooting the straightness out of the carbon arrow. So I'm going to show you 3 or 4 different arrows here, and we're going to show you some of the worst case scenarios, and then we're going to do some break tests on them to show you the durability difference in them, okay? Probably, first let's just show you a Gold Tip, okay? This is a Kinetic Chaos shaft, okay? This is our 400 spine. All these arrows we're working with are 400 spine. So I use a Pine Ridge arrow inspector here, and we put an arrow on there. It's a straight arrow when we start, right? Okay. We tell everybody to flex test their arrows, right? To check them for durability. An arrow's going to go through some flexing like this, throughout being shot, and we want that arrow to be able to maintain its accuracy and its straightness. So we flex that arrow a little bit. The arrow's still perfectly straight. That's what we expect out of an arrow, right? Now let's just show you some of the other arrows. Okay. This here is another brand of arrow, basically in the same class of shaft we were talking about. It's pretty straight when we start, right? We do the same little flex tests, that nothing overly aggressive. And now we look at the shaft. You see a lot more wobble in that shaft. The shaft is not maintaining its straightness. Now what causes that problem is the amount of carbon versus non-carbon material in the shaft. So Gold Tip arrows are 100% carbon, very low resin content. The more you do to take the non-carbon materials out of those shafts, the better shaft that you get in the long run. The better bond you get, the stronger the shaft you get. This is another one that's been around for a while. We compete against quite regularly with our XT hunters. Pretty straight when we start with, but probably one of the worst case scenarios when you're dealing with, a memory issue. I mean, these shafts are probably 20, 30 thou out now. So, and on top of that, we're going to show you after we're done here, the durability difference in the 2 shafts. So here's a very high dollar arrow. Pretty good when you first get it. But again, they will not handle any abuse, and they're now, very crooked. You got a $180 a dozen arrow that's very crooked, okay? Just another one here we can do. It's a really straight arrow when it starts, just a little bit of flexing on it. And now we got a very crooked shaft, okay? And, I'm not 100% sure why this particular arrow doesn't hold its memory. It's got to have something to do with the construction process because it is an all carbon shaft. So let's put these things in the break tester now, and we're just going to squeeze them until they break and show you the difference, okay? We're going to take, to make everything fair and equitable, we're going to take 3 different shafts in kind of the same shaft category. They're medium diameter 204 ID shafts, and we're going to put them in our break tester here and show you the difference in durability. Just another aspect of durability, okay? We're kind of trying to compare apples to apples and just showcase the durability of Gold Tip. The average bow hunter really experiences it. And then we're going to look over here at the scale and kind of watch how much flex we can get in this shaft before it breaks. Okay. It's starting to break. That's pretty good, actually. Okay. But we're sitting at about 32 on the scale. Okay. You'll see with this shaft, if I remember right, it's a lot more brittle. So not only does it not maintain a very good memory, which is more crucial than anything, we broke here at 36 inches. So even compared to the other Axis arrow, it broke 4 inches before. Now we'll show you how much tougher a Gold Tip shaft is. And your best, your world's best fly rods are made with the same process, that we make our arrows with. It's a little bit more labor-intensive process, but it builds a better and stronger shaft. You'll see that we usually be able to take this arrow all the way to the very end of the scale. I mean, it just has a much better hoop strength to it, so. That just tells you how good that bond is between the 90s and the zeros in the shaft, so. So it takes just a lot more abuse. But that pretty much explains, what I feel like, really separates Gold Tip from, a lot of the arrows on the market. The memory issue for me is the big one. I shoot competitive archery. I really take my hunting setups to the 10th degree. And it's very important when I tune a set of arrows in that they maintain that tune. So, you follow our procedures on building arrows and tuning things in and stuff, and you're gonna have a set of arrows that's really gonna last you a long time with Gold Tips, so.